To Pule Litchwiti Jones. He's giving us an aerial view of what's happening in Gauteng. In particular, Pule is in the capital, in the city of Tshwane. And not a long time ago there, the EFF leader Julius Malema addressing the crowd. We'll get that update from Mangoba Mkhunu. But let's go back to Pule. Pule, how far does it look like they are from reaching the union buildings now?
Well, firstly, apologies for earlier on. I think my signal was a bit very bad as we are still in the air, understandably so. But we also now know that the EFF marchers are not far from the union building. We're looking at just about approximately another 20-minute walk until they get to the President's Union buildings. Right now, they're still in the Pretoria CBD as well, heading towards that direction. We did see that the EFF leader, Julius Malema, of course, did arrive and was addressing some of the members. Of course, we've seen that back and forth between some of the ANC members and the EFF members on social media as well. This after yesterday, we saw some of the marchers in Braamfontein being arrested. The ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula saying he was on the ground with the law enforcement, and that some of the EFF leaders were nowhere to be found. I guess the EFF members have now heeded the call and decided to lead this march as well. We've seen also Buyiseni Ndlozi from that party alongside Julius Malema and other leaders from the party as well now leading this march. What I can tell you is that it's not quite a lot of them. I think just well over 1,000 of the members marching to the union buildings right now. But of course, it's been monitored by law enforcement agencies to ensure that nothing spirals out of control. We saw in Cape Town some of them were being barred from entering into certain districts as well. Some of the marchers were being barred by the police from entering certain districts, and like you rightfully said, they've also been warned by the High Court to march peacefully, not vandalize or loot or do anything which would not be in the boundary of the law. Of course, law enforcement agencies this time not taking a chance, particularly with what we saw during the July unrest. Police Minister making it very clear that they had to speed up the process of ensuring the security clearance certificate as well, that would then ensure the law enforcement agencies being on the ground and making sure that everyone is safe, and that no businesses are interrupted or looted, and that no ordinary innocent citizens are being intimidated.
All right, Pule, a little earlier I was asking you if you are able to see any police vehicles from where you are. Is there still a very high police presence there with the EFF supporters?
Yeah, there's still a very high police presence. In fact, we did see a couple of videos that are being shared to us as well, where law enforcement agency were kindly asking that the EFF leaders work with them, and that they would also work with them as well to ensure that they do not, clash whatsoever when they don't understand each other. And what we can see from where we are right now is that this march is being led peacefully to the buildings, but of course police will also be on standby after the march has ended to ensure that members of the EFF go back home and get into their vehicles or go to their various destinations very safely. So some do not take chances and try to start intimidating citizens or trying to loot businesses as well. And we do know that it's a long weekend, so usually expecting not a lot of people to be in town or to be in the streets of Johannesburg or Tshwane or within the province or across the country. But we have seen fairly enough some businesses operating as well and ensuring that they are next to police officials, that they are under the guidance and protection of police officials. And it seems as though everything in the city of Tshwane for now is peaceful. We haven't heard any reports of incidences whereby there's been looting or any public property being vandalized as well.
All right, Pule Litchwiti Jones in the skies for us there in the capital, that's the city of Tshwane. Let's quickly take you to Soweto now, where we find my colleague Heidi Jokos. I understand, Heidi, that you are at Maponya Mall. A little earlier on you said Maponya Mall was closed, so I assume there's people trying to protest there, or what's happening?
No, so Maponya Mall is actually open, Masego. It's just one of the main entrances that have been closed off, possibly to re-divert traffic and to avoid too many entrances being opened. But we are here on Chris Hani Road, just a couple of meters from Maponya Mall, a very busy intersection. It's the corner of Chris Hani Road and Klipspruit Valley Road. It's a very busy intersection, and as you can see, a number of EFF members have decided to station themselves basically in the middle of the road and protest and sing. You know, some of the placards that we are seeing is Ramaphosa is not loyal to his oath of office. Some protesters indicating that they have been suffering under the leadership of President Cyril Ramaphosa and his administration, speaking about the unemployment numbers, again speaking about Ramaphosa's leadership, and of course they are expressing their dissatisfaction. I must say, Masego, we have been in and around most of Soweto for the morning, and this is possibly one of the biggest, if I can call it big, groups that we have been seeing here in Soweto. Chris Hani Road was one of the roads that were mentioned as a road that was going to be obstructed and disrupted. You can see that there is also, of course, a big police presence. You are seeing police as well as JMPD officers, of course, trying to control traffic as much as possible. I must highlight that you are seeing protesters making way for any vehicle that is trying to get through, so there hasn't really been any obstruction to vehicle or anybody wanting to get through, but it's very difficult to make way when the protesters are using all four lanes. This is also a rear via bus route, so buses also use this particular route, and that's why I mentioned it's a very busy intersection that they've decided to continue marching on. Not a big group, but you are seeing people coming out and you know, expressing their dissatisfaction. We do know that they were indicating this is going to be a complete shutdown. I wouldn't say that we have seen a complete shutdown. We have been seeing businesses indicating that, you know, some of them not wanting to operate. It's also a public holiday tomorrow, so they are trying their best to navigate through that because nobody really knew what was expected of today. But they will be marching up Chris Hani Road. I'm not sure exactly where their next stop is. It might be outside Maponya Mall or other businesses, because there are businesses further up this road.
All right, Heidi Jokos at that intersection in Soweto. Hopefully everything remains as calm as it has been, because we remember how Soweto was back in July of 2021. Heidi, let's leave it there for now.